What up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. We haven't done one of these in a while, actually, giving you guys an update on the entrepreneurial journey. But we got Kim back on, so he can give you some more perspective. But first off, for everyone watching who doesn't know your story, how the hell you became one of the top headhunters in skill trades, while I've been out here grinding in the whole finance space. Walk us through the last 3-4 years real quick.
All right, yeah, last 3-4 years. So I ran track at Northwest. You know, needed a job. Had a time to go back and do a fifth year to run track. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to get this money, right? So ended up finding a job in staffing. I mean, honestly, I didn't even know what staffing was when I first applied for this. I never heard of staffing. Didn't know what a staffing company was. Nothing about the industry whatsoever. But I knew I wanted to be in sales. I always been doing sales. Did door to door with Vivid, selling alarm systems. So then, yeah, got a job in staffing. Was recruiting for about 10 months. Got a promotion to account manager, doing B2B sales, skills trades in Kansas City. So I've been doing that for the last 2 years. Started a cleaning business. Was doing that. Was going really well. Hard to balance finding good cleaners in Kansas City, people that you trust. So a lot of me double paying cleaners to redo the job, paying one person, paying another person, losing money, going out there and cleaning myself. I'm not a cleaner. So I go out there, I start cleaning that. I'm getting calls like, this is not done right, and I want to go do it. So nobody to blame but yourself. So pivoted it a few months ago with a friend of mine's, Dallas. We're doing junk removal, doing in case you've been running it up, doing that, working a full-time job, on track to hit my yearly contest, killing it really in sales. About to get married next year. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing here the last 3 years. Really just been grinding, crazy grind. Honestly, it's been working the hardest I've ever worked in my whole entire life.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, you're 25. You just cleared about 100K last year in pure commissions, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Managing recruiters, closing clients, and
yep,
still finding time to start a brand new junk removal business. Most people
yep,
your age are still figuring out what they want to do. So
exactly. Yeah.
what is right now? What does a typical week look like for you?
A typical week. Actually, we'll just go a day because pretty much all my days are almost exactly the same, besides Sunday and maybe Saturday night. Pretty much, I'm doing the same thing every day. I wake up, I try to get up at 4:30 every morning, go get in the gym, get a workout, start the day off right. But depending, sometimes we run jobs, right? We'll run a job at 6 a.m., 5:30 a.m. If you let us come and pick it up before work, we get the truck on the road and we're trying to get it so we can make this money. But workout, get ready to go to work. I get to work between 7 a.m. and 7:30 most days, and I usually don't leave work till about 5:30, 6 o'clock. So working long days. I'm in sales. I'm in minimum like three meetings a day with different businesses, different manufacturers, different clients, internal, all of that. So I'm in meetings. I'm working out, and then after I finish up the day, I'm straight on the junk removal truck. We're getting jobs done, knocking out jobs. We also have a driver as well too. So while I'm actually working my job, I'm actually having him knock out. He's knocking out jobs for us, right? So we don't have to always be on the truck every single day. We're doing jobs while we're working. We're making double the money. I'm making money while I'm at work, and my business is making money. And honestly, in junk removal, the money you can make is actually pretty crazy. I mean, you can charge somebody $300, $500 and be there for less than 20 minutes. There's not a lot of, I don't know a
Yeah.
lot of business where you can pull up 25 minutes and charge somebody $300. Or, but we had a job 2 or 3 weeks ago, $300 job. We were there for, I think, like 12 minutes, like total. And the customer was happy. We did what he wanted to do. I mean, we worked hard. We got it in the truck. It wasn't easy all the time, but you know, we don't take breaks and just grind it, push through, like knock jobs out in 12 minutes. I mean, $300. I mean, you can't really beat that. So that's the only,
Yeah, that's an idea for some of the budding
yeah, man,
entrepreneurs out there. Like
yeah,
that's one of those areas that's like it's never really gonna go dry. So that was
no,
a really good chess move in you picking that lane specifically because like
exactly,
that's gonna be needed no matter what. For the most
Yeah,
part, people are always gonna be moving, renovating, doing something with their
100%.
houses and whatnot.
And I didn't even really know about it. Actually, Dallas, my partner, he was the one that kind of brought the idea up to me and was like, "Yeah, this is what I'm trying to do." I was already been doing the clean. I was like, "That kind of similar." And like, with junk moving is so easy. You can't mess you can't mess the
Yeah,
job up.
it's
It's
hard
hard.
to mess that up.
It's hard. It's hard to get a bad review. I
Yeah,
mean, if you just look at a junk removal company, they always have good. It's hard to you're literally just pick this up and take it away. I mean, there's no middle ground. You can't mess that up. So, that's also as well too. It's easy to get jobs. It's hard to close clients, but not close the client, but close them at the price you want. People always try to lowball you, think it's junk, whatever, whatever. But those aren't your clients at the end of the day. They're
right.
not willing to pay the price because it's a premium. It's a luxury. You can always go rent a U-Haul and pack it up yourself, or
Yeah.
rent a dumpster trailer. If you want to break your back, have fun. Be my guest. But
Be my guest.
one way or another, you're going to pay for it, either
Right.
with your sweat or with your dollars. Um,
Right.
so yeah.
All right, so you went from being an individual contributor to managing a team and driving a whole new business on the client side in a super
Mhm.
I mean, like it's the junk removal space, junk removal and staffing both are two competitive, performance driven environments. What was the
Yeah.
biggest lesson that accelerated your growth so fast?
Don't overpromise and underdeliver. Always underpromise and overdeliver. With staffing and junk removal, especially staffing, it's super easy to tell a client you can do all these wonderful things. I can do this. I can hire this many people for you. Nobody's going to ever get fired. We're going to run all of these checks. We're going to do this and that and this and that. And then if you don't do it and you don't deliver, it's easy to get kicked out.
Right.
But if you just
Right.
be honest up front, hey, Mr. Client, the job you have is not a fun job, right? Nobody really wants to work this job. I'm going to do these things. I'm going to commit to doing these things for you. But this is like, hey, I can't promise you you're going to have the perfect outcome, but I'm going to definitely give you my best foot forward to help you solve your solution. And just being honest with people, because when you overpromise and you don't deliver, that's the easiest way to get kicked out, easiest way to lose a contract, easiest way to mess up a relationship that you didn't have to go back and rebuild. Um, so yeah, that's probably the biggest lesson I learned. And another good one too, is just be true to your word. And I kind of goes back to what I just said, but if you're just a man of your word, if you say you're going to show up on time, show up early, be prepared, like just like be who you are, be true to yourself, because
Yeah,
that's the most important
those
thing.
little
Show up.
things add up, especially
Yeah.
in the workplace. So just to backtrack a little bit, walk us through how you actually hit just under 100K at age 24. What did your pipeline look like, and how did you
Mm-hmm.
balance placing candidates with chasing new clients and things like that?
Okay. Um, so yeah, I was super close to getting to that 100K mark just in my W-2. But when you add in the other things I'm doing, I definitely was able to clear that. Um, but like in the job, honestly, it's just really working hard. Like I mean, it sounds simple, but like I just really worked hard and I actually worked on my craft, right? So I didn't just jump to the sales job. I'm like, I'm just gonna make a bunch of calls and hopefully I'll land jobs. No, I would wake up after I worked out in the morning. I would watch a YouTube video every day just on the art of selling. Jeremy Miner, Brad Lee, 30 Minutes to President's Club. So I'll watch these people every single day, take
Alex
notes.
Harmozy, man.
Yeah, Alex
Yeah,
Ramosi.
staying
Like
on.
I would watch
Yeah,
it,
you
and
gotta
they
you gotta
give
stay
out.
tapped in because it changes so much. You know.
It changes so much, and they literally tell you. I mean, they're so good at what they do. They literally tell you this is exactly what you need to do. This is how you say it. This is the exact words, bro. Even Jeremy Miner will tell you how you're supposed to like your voice, how you're supposed to look, hand movements, how you're supposed to sit up, like just little things that go a long way. Because everybody wants to buy from a winner, right?
Right.
And when you present yourself as a winner, and when you actually put the work in, you have a different level of confidence, right? People love confidence, and so it just makes room for itself. And you just work hard. I hit the phones. I knocked on doors. You know, I I went above and beyond. I did things I probably shouldn't have done. I mean, one day during literally the first contract I ever got signed, it was freezing in Kansas City. I had just started doing the sales part. We were in like a small industrial park. It's cold outside. I just had a quarter zip on. I literally parked my car at the end of one street because I came from door to door, right? So I parked my car at the end of one street, got out, knocked every single door in that industrial park. I mean, knocked the door, went in there, talked to them. Oh, we're not interested. We don't use staffing, whatever. Okay, cool, whatever. Next door. And I walked the whole thing outside in the cold. And I literally landed one contract and had like a couple big meetings just off of just doing that simple thing, right? But it was just like, who's going to do that? It's 40 degrees, 30 degrees outside. You look crazy walking around, but like if you want it bad enough and you actually put the work in, like good things will come out of it.
Yeah, you got to be willing to look a little crazy if you're gonna
Got to.
break through some barriers. So you talked about wanting to level up significantly this year. What
Mm-hmm.
exact number are you chasing, and what specific changes in your process or mindset are you gonna
Mm-hmm.
make to kind of get there?
Yeah, so I guess from like a number wise, I'm not really chasing like a salary number. Of course, I'm gonna make as much money as possible. I just have goals. Like I want to be able to purchase my first duplex this year. I guess I do have a goal for the junk removal. Like I want to be able to go ahead and bring in 80K doing that just on the side. So that'll be something that's a goal of mine, especially for that. Like with the work, the money's gonna come in. But my real goal is to stop renting. I want to be able to purchase my first duplex, be able to house hack, and that's my ultimate goal this year, right? That's the only thing I've been talking about. So getting money, putting it away, saving it, working extra hard to try to make that goal happen. If that can happen, no matter how much money I made this year, like that's the only goal I have, right? I gotta get into this first property this year, right? So that's the only thing I'm really looking forward to. And I forgot. Do you have a second question to that? I kind of went on a tangent there.
It was about like kind of like that process of getting to that
Okay.
80K. So what have you done? What are you planning to do a little different that you haven't really implemented yet to
Yeah.
reach that?
Honestly, one thing that I've recently just started doing, and it's helped me out a lot, but also it takes time to get to this level, is picking the right partner to work with. Not partner like business partner, but the right company, picking the right client, going after the right business. Because yes, you can go and just grab business, right? It's a lot of business to grab. It's not hard to find clients, but when you find good clients, right, it's hard to balance running staffing, operation and running a drug move all at once, right? So you have to have good clients, clients that are going to pay you what you're worth, right? Because if you're not getting paid what you're worth, then it becomes a burden, right?
Right.
Clients that respect your time, right? Going after the right person. Because if you can build a book of clientele, even though it may take a little longer to find that person, right? If you can build a book of clientele with people that like you, that respect you, that want to work with you, and that like your partnership, it's so much more easier to then grow and find more partners like that. You just have to be able to take the step back to go out and find those good partners, right? Because you don't want to just be going after all the guys that are just going to lowball you and not respect your time, not respect the effort and the work you're putting in. So,
Right.
me, I've been just trying to find good clients, right? Who can I work with that's going to respect me, that's going to treat me well, going to pay me well, and I can provide a service that I want to provide. You're not getting paid a lot, the customer service lacks. You don't answer your phone when they call. You don't do as good of a job because they're not paying you what you're worth. And that's why I tell clients all the time. You can go with the cheaper guy. That might be what he's worth. He might be okay with making this small commission or this small payment on this job, and he might be cool with that. Me personally, like I'm not gonna want to get out of the bed for 80 bucks. Like I'm not gonna turn the truck on. You feel what I'm saying? Unless we might be like in your area down the street from me. All right, cool. Maybe we can swing by and grab something real quick. But if that one guy wants to go in and pick up 2 tons of rocks for $125, well, let him go do that. Because I'll go do this cheap job and miss out on that big job calling me come mess with your rocks. Or this client keeps blowing me up because their process is not, fully intact. And I knew I should have brought them on because I knew how it was going to be. And now I'm stressed at night trying to get stuff input in the system and, stressed at meetings and all that stuff when I could have been in a good headspace because I had good clients. So just finding and working with the right people, honestly, that's been the biggest game changer for me. Um, it helped me out so much, honestly.
Right, right. So you're intentionally niching towards like more real estate investors instead of just random residential jobs, if I'm
Yep.
not mistaken. So, kind of explain that move and how you're positioning the junk removal business to create consistent, reoccurring, long term
Yeah.
relationships.
Yeah, so this is actually great. So yeah, we've been heavy on investors, heavy on apartments. Investors, apartments, right? Um, that's what we go after, right? Of course, we get the residential leads that come through, but we're not pushing residential. We're not trying. We're not just trying to be the residential warrior. We want the reoccurring because once you get reoccurring, you don't have to put as much into leads. You can put more into the equipment side of it, right?
Right.
You can get bigger, better equipment, become more efficient, be able to take on bigger jobs. So we've been going to apartments and we've been going to investors, which is honestly the work's out there, right? If you're just a respectable person, man of your word, show up on time, and give people a fair price, and just be honest with them, the work is easy to get. All you gotta do is just really just call them, right? Call them, hey, I'm doing this and this. Do you need any help? It's a yes or no question. They'll let you know, right? With apartments, we literally just drive around. If we see an apartment that has a bunch of trash piled up inside their trash can, we'll just drive through. Hey, I run this company. I think we can help you guys out. I see you already got something. Who take care of this for you? Nobody. We can help out. Like it's really that easy. It's not hard at all. Um, but you just knowing who you should go after and being smart, right? For some people, they might want to do the residential, right? You can stack up 4 or 5 residential job in a day and make $1,000. Not that difficult, right? Or you can do the recurring where you might only get 2 jobs, right? And it might take you a long time to knock those 2 jobs. It might be a long, grueling 2 jobs, but you might get 1,200 or 1,500. But then they're going to hit you up in next week and say, "Can you come back out here? We got more work." Because right now we're getting apartments on loops, right? We're coming to visit you every 2 weeks to come pick up the trash, right? We'll get you on a subscription, right? It just makes it easy, right? When they know you're going to be coming, all you gotta do is just invoice them, right? So that's where we'll be really focusing on. My partner, he takes the investor side. I take the apartment side, right? Having a team helps out a lot too. That's one thing I would say. Having a team too,
Most
but that's on
definitely.
a different subject. But yeah, when you have a team, it just makes it so much more easier. But yeah, he takes the investors, I take the apartments, and then we just knock jobs out, close deals, and we'll do anything too. Like any any work, we'll figure out a way to get it done. If you're gonna subcontract it out, we'll subcontract it out. We'll find you a good sub. Because if a client's gonna come to us and say, hey, you know, we have the guy that we did a dirt job for. He's building a pond in his backyard. Who's gonna line the pond? I don't know. All right, well, we'll vet people for you and find that right person. We want to keep you in our ecosystem. We don't want you to go call somebody else. You call us, we'll find a person for you. So we make it simple.
And that gives you a little bit of an advantage because a lot of people, a lot of companies would rather just let people source other things, and you
Yeah,
being willing to do that extra
yeah,
step of work is I think is going to go a long way with the market. You're huge on discipline, fitness, routine. You post
yeah,
real lifestyle change content, not
yeah.
just the fluffy rise and grind stuff, the real day to day stuff. What kind of triggered the major financial and mental transformation you've made over the past couple of years?
Um, Honestly, to be honest, I had a goal in mind, and I watch a lot of like Eric Thomas. I watch his videos pretty much every single day. I watch Eric Thomas video, so he's a guy that I credit a lot of it to. But also like just being in the right rooms with the right people, being in the room where you're the smallest guy, um, because that's basically all I've done. Every time I step in a room, I'm usually the youngest, the smallest, not in like height or size or anything, but like I'm just the sales guy. This guy might be the CEO, might be the president. He might be working this company for 45 years. He might make $1 million, $500,000. He might have, $10 million worth of real estate. Yesterday I was in a meeting with the guy. He came and talked at a real estate event. I was at Josh Cadillac. I mean, I didn't even heard of him before until yesterday. But multi millionaire.
I've heard of him.
Uh, you heard of him before? Yeah,
Yeah.
literally met him yesterday.
Oh, word.
But like being in the room with people that are at a higher level and just soaking up all the knowledge, bro. I mean, it's not hard to see what a high performing human being looks like. It's everywhere. You just gotta, I mean, you just go on social media and look. They're working out in the morning. They're reading. They got a business. They're working their job. They're doing it. It's not hard to find out what they're doing. You just have to do it, and it's not fun. I promise you. I hate waking up every
Nah.
day. I don't like waking up in the morning to go work out. I'll just be honest, I don't. It's not.
Nah,
It's,
I
I
don't.
don't.
I don't either. It's a
Yeah,
benefit though. You know, you
yeah.
just
It's a benefit, but I don't get up happy like it's 4:30 in the morning. I'm about to go get. No, I never wake up and smile. I'm like, God, gotta do it again.
here we
But you
go.
gotta do it. You got to do it. You have to do it. And so, like, honestly, just knowing what it takes. Everybody knows what it takes to be successful. I don't think it's rocket science on that point. It's just who's going to actually stick it out, right? Because it's not going to be easy. You're not going to get it overnight. It's going to take time. It's going to take effort. You're going to take losses. Things are not going to go your way. I can guarantee you.
Most
Just
definitely.
being okay with that and knowing like that's just going to be what's going to happen. But that's the journey you have to take. If it was easy, like I said, everyone would be doing it. It's not easy. That's why
Yeah,
everybody's not doing it.
yeah. If entrepreneurship was super easy, then like the workforce would have been chose this. But for the most part, it's not gonna be easy at
Yeah,
any stage. It's gonna just be different kinds of hard. But if you could go
exactly.
back and talk to 21-year-old you who was just starting in sales, doing random attic clean outs on the side,
Hmm.
what's the one piece of advice you'd give him that would save him the most time and or pain?
Yo, this is easy. Just whatever you do it for a long time. Stop giving stuff 2 months, 3 months, 4 month stints. I did Amazon FBA. I was doing barbering for a couple years. I was, um, I was doing cleaning. Like if I would have just stuck with something, I felt like instead of just pivoting once it got difficult and just actually stuck it out, I feel like I would have been because it's going to take time and things are going to happen. Like I feel like I've been just way more further if I would just stuck out because if you look at anybody that's like successful, that's making money, that's doing it, they all been doing it for a good amount of time. Even the guys that are young, that mean they've been doing sales since they were 18. They've been doing this since they were 19. They started their Amazon FBA when they were 15 years old.
Yeah.
The people that are successful, they've always been doing it for at least like 2 3 years. Every time you ask them, right? And I feel like if I would have just actually stuck it out with something, make sure I did the research up front to figure out what am I actually getting myself into, why am I doing this, understand like what all is going to go into it, and then being okay, like, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take the long route with it. I thought I would just save myself some time. I would have never done, you know, um, I probably never ever done cleaning, right? It's just a lot of things can go wrong with that. Even though nothing's you make money, just a lot of things can go wrong with that. Um, Amazon FBA, I probably would have stuck it out and would have just grinded and figured out how to make it happen because I was making a lot of money doing it, but then it got difficult and I quit and gave up. So I will just say like just if you're gonna do something, stick it out for the long run. Don't just do it for a few months. Like you've been doing trading. I bet you probably want to quit
Yeah,
multiple times, right?
what? Listen, I tell traders this all the time. If you can stick it out in these markets for 5 years, you can lose for 5 years straight. If you can stick it out in these markets for 5 years, you're gonna be profitable in this space, and that's just
Exactly.
a matter of soaking up information. Now, if you're just throwing ish at the wall for 5 years and seeing if it sticks, then yeah, no. But if you're actually like being a student to the game for that 5 years, I promise you're gonna figure out something that actually works and something you can actually use long term. A lot of people kind of get it misconstrued in the trading space because you see like some of the bigger, more prominent traders doing like 10% in a week or like 30% in a month, and that kind of throws a shadow on the fact that the majority of consistent profitable traders out there are doing 2, 3, 4, 5% a month,
Yeah.
and fine with that. You just have to
Yeah.
scale up. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're talking about 2% of $100, you're only talking about a $2 gain on your account. But now if you're talking about a $600,000 account, you're talking about a pretty steady income. You dig what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's what a lot of traders kind of miss with all the flashiness that happens in this space.
Exactly.
But just to make sure that everybody can find you because you're documenting all of this progress, you're
Yep. Yep.
documenting all of these milestones on Instagram, if I'm not mistaken. Go ahead and let them
Yep.
know where to find you at.
Man, I gotta post. I haven't been on Insta, bro. I mean, I've been so like when I tell you right now, I'm pretty much working. Like, I leave the house at 4:30. I'm not getting home till like 9 p.m. Like
Mm.
it's been one of those for the last like. If
Yeah,
you see my last
it can
Instagram
get like
video,
that.
yeah, if you see my last Instagram video I posted, since that day forward, it's been like 4 to 9, 4 to 9. I mean, I didn't get home yesterday. I didn't get home yesterday till like 10 o'clock. I was at a real estate event trying to get into that. But where you can find me at Kim the Motion on Instagram. That's where I post like my personal page. Where I post like more lifestyle change videos, all that stuff. You can find us our Instagram for our business. It's a turnkey hauling.kc or turnkey hauling. Um, if you need
It's
drug
gonna
move
be in
here
the
in Kansas,
description too, so
yeah.
y'all can just
If you need
tap
drug
them
move here
links.
in Kansas City,
I
hit us
will
up.
say though, piece of advice that you may can start implementing to kind of help your audience stay engaged, but not put more stress on you, is
Yeah,
like on some of those days where you have a little bit more breathing room. Don't just do one piece of content. Do like 3 or 4, so
yeah.
you have it just in the chamber
That's a
loaded,
great. Yeah,
so you don't
that's
look. Cause
actually
I started doing that recently because like I was before I was just doing like every time I posted I had just recorded that video. Now it's it's more so like
yep,
I
yep.
build up a few and then just what I'm saying,
Yeah,
let them.
actually, that's probably something I need to do. Yeah, cause yeah, when I post a video, I may record it the day before, like maybe that night or whatever. But like, yeah, I'm just one at a time. If I can knock out 3 or 4. Also, too, a lot of times it's stuff that I'm actually going through, like stuff that I'm having a conversation with somebody, or I'm going through it myself, and then I just think like, how can I fix this? Oh, this you need to change this mindset to then get here. And I'm like, you know what? That was
Let's go
great. That
ahead and
helped me
tell
out.
the yeah. Let's go ahead and
Let me
tell the
tell
group
let me tell
about it.
everybody else.
Yeah.
But I do need to get better at recording like a multiple out because I listened to this one podcast. They've been dropping a podcast. Well, Eric Thomas, Secret to Success podcast. They've been dropping a podcast every week for I think like the last like 6, 7, 8 years. And just actually literally just today I just found out they actually record all the podcasts one day a month. So for yeah, they go out there and they'll shoot 4 podcasts in one day because they all live in different places in the country. They'll come
Yeah.
together one day, shoot 4 different podcasts, maybe shoot 2 and cut them up into two different sets, and then do that.
That's
And that's
tough.
smart. I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
You know?
that's hecka smart. I'm so like I'm trying to get to a similar place, but like so like the way that I do it though, I can't do it too preemptive because like the major market breakdowns that drop every
Yep.
Sunday, it's got to be
Exactly.
like pertinent to the most updated information. But I did start doing a more inept live show, but I
Mm,
decided that like what was more consistent for like my actual habits and what I can actually do is just having my live go all day long, but without me on it, just having a trade for the audience to participate in if they want, which I think is valuable enough to go along with the major market breakdowns. I'm not trying to be too much in the medias. I'm trying to actually take more of a step back into the background and put some more
yeah.
of my associates on the front lines of everything. But we'll see how that plays out over the next 6 to 8 months or so. Is there any ending advice you want to throw to the audience before we get out of here?
Yeah, I would just say, man, don't let anyone talk you out of going after what you want. People tell me all the time I'm crazy. Kim, you work too hard. Kim, get some rest. Take a nap. Man, whatever. If you know what it takes to get there, just do it. Right? Take the risk. Um, me and my friend, we just bought a new trailer. 2 weeks ago, we were doing box truck. I traded my Honda Accord in for a pickup truck when gas prices were $5, and everybody's saying, "Kim, you're crazy. You're trading in your fuel efficient Honda Accord for a V8 F-150. You're just gonna burn through gas. Your gas is gonna double," which it did. But guess what? So did the money. The money doubled. So y'all say whatever it is, go after your dreams. Don't let nobody hold you back. Work hard. That's all I got, man. We'll win in the end.
Yeah, and that. It doesn't get much better than that. All right, and if you
Yeah.
guys want to stay tapped in, just hit that sub button, hit that like button. Make sure you tell the algorithm this is good content. We're gonna catch y'all
Yep.
another one. All right, I love y'all.